Hey y'all, welcome back to P Hope, where the P stands for Problems at the Party. You ain't coming at him like that. What's up, y'all? This your girl P Hope, and this is another review for Love After Lockup season 3 episode 12. Y'all know I don't never know the title, but it really doesn't matter because this is the finale, y'all. So this will be the last weekend that we get the old crew, that we get the season 2 crew. And then so next Saturday, October the 9th, Friday, October the 9th, we will be back to our original season 3 cast with Scott and Lindsay, Heather and Dylan, Sean and Destiny crazy ass. Like, honey, our people will be back, so we'll get to see what the hell they got going on. But as for right now, we're gonna go ahead and jump into Friday night's episode, which I'm gonna start with let's start with Lamar and Andrea. So here we go. Lamar and Tennyson are in the backyard, and so they are out here blowing up this swimming pool because y'all remember that little baby Priscilla is getting baptized in a swimming pool, that, you know, because the church already had approved Tennyson to do this ceremony. So they done went out and bought this swimming pool, and they put Lamar in charge of blowing it up. So you got Lamar and Tennyson out here in the backyard, and it's one of them nice, it's a pretty good nice size pool, and so it's big enough to where you have to have one of those electric air pumps to blow it up. So they got the electric air pump on it, and they just having normal conversation or whatever. Him and Tennyson just out there talking, and they watching the thing blow up. And it's blowing up rather slow. So Lamar's like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna run in here and go to the restroom. So he done left Tennyson out there attending the pool. And so Tennyson standing out there watching it for a minute. And I guess Tennyson felt like the pool was blowing up just as slow as molasses. So he took his ass in the house as well. Now, it doesn't say how much time had went by. I don't know if Lamar's restroom number 1 turned into a number 2 or possibly a number 3, or if the pool just sped up this air pumping out of nowhere. I don't really know what happened, but by the time Lamar got back outside, the pool had done overinflated and popped. So, you know, he like, oh man, like what done happened, man? And so he looking crazy. So the first thing that he do is call Andrea. And Andrea's like, what? You know, what done happened? So she pulls up. I don't know if she was in the house or if she was at another location. But anyway, she gets to the backyard, y'all, and she is heated. She's like, the first thing that she does is says that he did this on purpose. And he's like, what do you mean I did this on purpose? All I did was go to the bathroom. When I came out, the thing had done overinflated. And she's like, yeah, that's what I know. Y'all, Andrea said that Satan himself told Lamar to go in the house and go to the bathroom at that time so that the pool could blow up. So Lamar's like, well, you know, shit, I could have just pissed outside. I mean, would you have rather me done that country shit? Or, you know, would you rather me, you know, act like a civilized adult and go in the bathroom and use it? And she's like, you know, you're a liar. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think you did all of this on purpose. And if you don't fix it, this will be a clear indication to me that you don't care. You don't care about me. You don't care about your family. And I'm moving back to Utah. Y'all, I'm so sick of her threatening this man with Utah that I don't know what to do. But I think that's like her natural go-to. So she pulled it out, you know what I'm saying? She pulled her ace out the hole and threatened him to move back to Utah if he didn't get this baptized situation together. Lamar is trying to say everything that he possibly can to calm Andrea down. But of course, in true Andrea fashion, nothing is working. And so, you know, he pretty much just throws his hands up and says, fuck it. And he walks off. And she's like, Lamar, I'm talking to you. Don't you turn your back on me. And he just kept on walking. He didn't give a shit. Because y'all just remember last week she had just threw them damn carrots and celery all over his ass. So at this point, he tired of being in the backyard. The backyard is not a good place for him to be. And, you know, he's done. So he walks off. So then it cuts to the final scene for them, which is Andrea getting everything set up for the baptism. She is putting all the clothes on baby Priscilla. Baby Priscilla has on this white little fluffy dress, and then she has on this little white headband thing, and it has a little dashiki piece hanging off of it. And she says she incorporated the African piece to symbolize for Lamar. I don't know if he's African or if she just threw that in there because, you know, they say Mormon is more so of a, is it Jewish? I'm guessing Jewish or Caucasian. I don't know, y'all. I'm real ignorant when it comes to things like that, so don't get me the line. But I know that, you know, from the beginning he's always said that being Mormon is not something that black people do. So I'm assuming that she put the African cloth part on there to symbolize that, you know, black people can be Mormon as well. And so that was more so kind of to calm Lamar down in that aspect. But either way, Priscilla looked really, really pretty. So she's getting all set up, and then it shows Lamar and one of the priest holders from Andrea's church. It shows them outside patching up this damn pool. Y'all, I thought that was the funniest shit ever, that he was out there patching this pool up. I don't know why they just didn't try to take the damn pool back and get another one, or just buy another one. Like, one of the two. But I guess they said, look, this ain't something Priscilla finna be back here playing in every day. We just need to dunk her head and be done with it. So if the shit gotta get done in the bathtub, we're not buying another pool, okay? Period. So him and the priest holder ended up getting the pool patched up. They patched it up well enough to where it could be blown back up to, you know, to its normal capacity. They filled it with water and everything was good to go on that end. But while they're back there setting up the pool, Dulo shows up. So I guess from inside the house, Andrea could see that Dulo had showed up, and she was in the house on the phone doing FaceTime with some of the other church members because, you know, they wanted to celebrate the situation, and they also wanted to see little baby Priscilla. So, you know, they're congratulating Priscilla, they're congratulating Tennyson, and all of this going on. And then Andrea felt the need to let them know that, well, you know, her uncle decided to introduce Tennyson to drugs. And so, you know, they're like, oh my God, drugs, you know, like, wow, you know, you're really out there in the ghetto. And so she's like, yes. So I don't approve of this uncle being here, and so I'm gonna politely, he wasn't invited, so I'm just gonna go out, step outside and politely uninvite him because I don't want him anywhere around this ceremony. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'm gonna talk to you a little later because I got some wrecking to do. So she hangs up on them and she gets outside to Dulo, and she just walks up on him, and he like, you know, what's up, Andre? You know, how you doing? Of course, she don't want to hear none of that shit. She's like, can we have a come to Jesus moment? And he's like, you know, cool, yeah, what's up? She said, look, I've always felt like you were a bad influence on Lamar, but now you're an even worse influence on my son. Like, how dare you introduce my son to marijuana? And Dulo was like, Andrea, I really feel like you taking this way out of hand. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm not taking this out of hand. You don't respect me. You have never respected me from the beginning. And now it's trickling down to my kids. And, you know, Dulo is trying to explain to Andrea that she took it the completely wrong way. He said that he did that to test Tennyson, and that if the shoe would have been on the other foot and Tennyson would have been more so curious of it to say, you know, hey, well, you know, I'm 18 now, so you mind if I test that out? You mind if I see what marijuana is all about? He said that he would have immediately shut that down, and he would have let Tennyson know that, look, I'm going to tell your mama. So at this point, Andrea is looking like, I'm looking at this man like everything that he's saying is a crock of bullshit, because he's high right now as he's telling me this lie. So Andrea doesn't believe a damn thing that Dulo is talking about, but she'll take him at face value for today because she doesn't want to mess up Priscilla's day. So she's like, okay, well, you know, I understand where you're coming from, so I guess we're good. So she let Dulo live another day. Tennyson goes in their bedroom, in Lamar and Andrea's bedroom, and he's showing him the outfit that he's gonna wear to baptize his little sister. So he's got on like some all white sweatpants and a white t-shirt, and so Lamar's like, you know, that's all you need to handle your business? And he was like, yeah, pretty much. He said, you know, the real priest holders would have on like more of like this all white onesie type of gear. But, you know, special circumstances cause for special accommodations. Lamar tells Tennyson that he's a little unsure if he's actually going to show up to the baptism, because he still feels the same way that he's always felt, which is that little baby Priscilla is still too young. You know, y'all know she's only 8 years old. So he feels like she's still too young for this, and that, you know, she needs to be a little older. And so he doesn't know, he's stuck between supporting his child and standing up for what he believes in. And so Tennyson kind of just puts a little bug in his ear and lets him know that he thinks it would be a wonderful idea if Lamar actually shows up to the baptism, because his father was not in attendance at his baptism. And it didn't really affect him that much because he's always had an absentee father. But the fact that Priscilla has her father in her life, she's going to remember that. You know, she's going to look around and see that her father is not there. And he doesn't want that to muddy her baptism experience. And you can tell that Lamar immediately took that into deep consideration, and he told Tennyson, like, okay, you know, I'll think about it, you know what I'm saying? And so that was that. It's finally time for the baptism, and everybody is in attendance. And so it shows Tennyson getting in the pool, and then baby Priscilla had to take off all her dress and the little headband thing that she had going on. She took all of that off, and she got in the water, and she still had on all white. And her brother, you know, said the little ceremony that he had to say over her, and then he dipped her head in the water. And of course, when baby Priscilla came back up and she looked around, Lamar was definitely there, smiling and cheering her on and happy for her baptism experience. And not only was Lamar there, Dulo was in attendance, and all the other aunts and cousins and things like that. So you had Andrea's whole family and a couple of church members, and then you also had Lamar's family. So it ended up being a really, really beautiful situation. Lacey is at her first doctor's appointment, one of her first doctor's appointments, and she's there to get an ultrasound. The doctor is telling her that she is 5 weeks and 5 days, I believe she was, and that this is around the time that the baby's heartbeat should be detected. And so she's like, okay, well, you know, that's fine. And so then the doctor also wants to know if Lacey had been having any type of spotting or bleeding, cramping, anything of that sort. And so Lacey is looking at her like, no, I haven't experienced any of that. So then she wants to know if Shane was at the visit with her. You know, like, you know, is Shane in the lobby, or, you know, where is he at? And she's like, yeah, he's out there in the lobby. Like, I feel like it's something that you really want to tell me. And so at this point, Lacey is like really worried. And at this point, I'm looking worried too, because I'm like, doctor, if the little baby not breathing, look, y'all might want to do this off camera, because the doctor is really looking concerned at this point. So they go and get Shane, and the doctor sits them down at the table, and she says, okay, so what I wanted to let you guys know was, like, in the beginning of this whole process, I had already told you that it's recommended that we insert one egg. But, you know, Lacey, you were insistent on inserting 2 eggs. So what has happened is the first egg went through just fine with no problems. And so, of course, they're excited about that. And then she says, and the second egg also went through, but it has split. So now what you're looking at in this ultrasound picture is one set of identical twins and then one solo child. So now not only are they going to have a family of 4, they're going to have a family of 6. She's instantly going from 3 kids that she already has to 6 kids, because the doctor says if all 3 of the children are able to go through full term, then of course she will be delivering triplets. So, you know, congratulations to Lacey and Shane on y'all's triplets, honey. You know, I'm praying for you guys, and I hope that, you know, everything ends up being just fine with you and them babies. So, you know, Lacey is over the moon excited about this news, because, like I said, how the doctor was talking to her when she was actually doing the ultrasound, it sounded like she was getting ready to say, like, that the baby wasn't breathing. But no, that's not what she was saying. The obviously the heartbeat is there, and it's not just one of them, it's 3 of them. Okay, so they're on their way to Lacey's dad's house to tell him the good news. But on the way over there, Shane cannot help but wreck his mind thinking about how the hell is he going to support 6 kids. And he's like, man, I'm gonna have to get 20 damn jobs. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do if we actually end up having a set of twins and then one individual sibling. Like, it's just gonna be a lot. So he's excited, but he's very much nerve-scattered at the same time. So when they get to the dad's house, you know, he's like, hey, you know, what's up? How y'all been? Da, 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 da. And Lacey's like, sir, you want to tell my dad the news? And so, of course, Shane is looking crazy, but he's like, look, so, yeah, we're pregnant. And the dad is looking like, well, you know, I assumed that was coming at some point. He doesn't look too shocked about it. And all he really had to say about it was the fact that, you know, kids, nobody's ever prepared to have a baby, but he just wishes that Shane was a little more stable before they decided to go ahead and start making more kids. That was the dad's only real concern. And the dad also says, well, first, so he made that statement first. Then he found out that it's not only going to be 1 child, it's going to be 3 kids. And so then that's when his real concern kicked in, and he was like, look, I'm not worried about my daughter. Like, she's always been a go-getter. She's always been able to make things happen anytime she has needed anything financial. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to hustle and go out and make it happen. But Shane, on the other hand, I don't know him like that. I don't know him to be that go-getter. And so he's very concerned of, you know, the same concern that Shane has for his damn self. He's like, how are you going to take care of 3 infants at one time? So, you know, look, we're just praying for y'all. We're praying for you, Shane, with your 3 new babies, because at one point Lacey had done walked in on Shane playing with 3 damn stuffed animals, because Shane trying to figure out how the hell he gonna hold 3 babies at one time. And honey, he done dropped one of them on the floor and talking about, oh my, you know, my bad, little baby, like, you know, I hope you all right. And so, you know, Lacey knows that he's just kidding or whatever, but at the same time, she was looking at him like, fool, if you think you finna hold my babies when they first come home, you a lie. And the truth ain't in you. So, Tony and Angela. Their scene starts off with Tony going over to Tommy's house to ask him to please help him get Angela back. Because y'all know that Tony is just absolutely miserable right now without Angela. So he on his keep sweat. He on his please, baby, baby, please. I need Angela in my life. And so he figures that Tommy can be the wingman to help him get Angela back. Tommy says that he ain't helping Tony do a goddamn thing, because the best thing that he could have ever done was leave her alone. He said that, you know, Angela is in a good place now, and that, you know, you just need to move on. You need to move on, Tony. And from there, he just started rambling off a list of all the negative shit that Tony got going on. He was like, look, you done used this lady. You done lied to her I don't know how many times. Like, who wants to be with a man like you? You need to go somewhere and get yourself together, because you are not the man for Angela. So at this point, Tony done got mad, and he stands up, he knocked his chair over that he was sitting in, and he was like, hey man, you ain't finna be raising your voice at me like that. And then Tommy was like, he stands up and he like, look, you better sit your $2 ass down before I make change. Because first of all, you rolled up on me. You at my residence. So however I feel is however I feel. Period. So then at this point, Tony is looking like, oh, hell no, bro. Like, what is you talking about? That's my wife. And Tommy said, Tommy shady, y'all. Tommy said, well, you know, she told me that too, Tony. I know that, you know, y'all are not officially married. She never filed the marriage certificate. So Tony is looking crazy. Tommy is done listening to his bullshit, and he's like, look, you know, it's time for you to go. So he put his ass out of the little she shed, he shed, whatever shed, and Tony goes on about his business. Now Tony decides that he ain't done with this situation, so he took his ass over to Angela's house. He boom 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 boom, he knocking on the door. She like, Lord have mercy. Like, at this point, Tony has turned into a permanent pimple in Angela's life. Like, whatever she does, she cannot get rid of this man. He just keep coming back. So he's like, let me in. She said, well, what the hell do you want? And he's like, just let me in. So she lets him in, and he immediately starts going off. And he says, you know, I just left from over Tommy's house. And she's like, okay, and yeah, so he filled me in on everything. He told me about this Ross dude and everything that you've been doing, and I can't believe that you've been cheating on me this whole time. So now at this point, Angela is looking way crazy. And he done went in trying to make somebody think that, you know, he a little throwed off his damn self, because he done knocked the damn camera down onto the floor. And she like, God damn it, Tony. So, you know, she mad, he mad, because he really feel like he got a point to prove at this point. Like, oh, you did all this huffing and puffing because of all the shit that I was out here doing, but you been talking to somebody the whole time. You know, you been fucking off on me the whole time. And she's like, how dare you call me a cheater? All them nights that you was out tricking off with these prostitutes and not coming home and lying to me and using me and doing this and that. Who the hell shoulder do you think I was crying on all this time, Tony? Who? Who can I run to? Ross. That's who. So then, you know, he really think he pulling a rabbit out the hat. Now, he gonna have a nerve to say, you made a commitment to me, and now you're sitting here breaking it. And she said, hold on, playboy. First of all, we already know I never filed the marriage certificate. So that's number one. So I ain't breaking shit. But at the same time, how is it fair for you to break something, but I can't do it? So at this point, he got the stale face, and he gonna talk about something. But that's different. I'm working on myself. Well, bitch, how is it any different? How Sway? So after that whole fiasco, Angela tells him that she is mentally drained, and then she puts his ass right on out because she's done. She's done listening to his bullshit. And so no sooner than he leaves, he starts blowing her damn phone up. So he's calling. The camera has showed him already calling her like 2 or 3 times. Who knows how many damn times he had called before that or after that. But like the 4th time, the 3rd or 4th time that the phone rung, because the whole time it's been going, she been letting it go to voicemail. But so this particular call, on like the 3rd or 4th call, she done picked it up. So, you know, we all expecting her to pick up the phone and cuss Tony ass the hell out. But it's not Tony. This is a phone call from no other than Mr. Ross himself. And I said, yes, come through, Ross. But then that shit said, doo-doo-doo. This is a collect call from. Y'all, Ross is back locked up. I said, Lord, why? Y'all, Ross said that he had done got pulled over by the police because his car and him fit the description of a man that had been in the area pulling a string of burglaries. And I said, well, Ross, was it you? But Ross said it wasn't me. And so he said that when they pulled him out the car, they put him on the ground. He said he was face down on the ground for over an hour. And he ended up being arrested for, I'm assuming that, maybe for the looking suspicious or the burglary charge. But I know he definitely said that he was arrested for drunk and disorderly conduct. So, you know, he had already been drinking. And y'all remember when he was on the FaceTime with her, he had that damn pellet gun in the back seat. And she told him to get rid of that shit. So he probably got that shit on there too. Hell, who knows? But anyway, point is, Ross is back locked up and Angela is completely over it. She said, look, I'm tired of you going in and out of jail. I did not sign up to do another prison sentence with nobody, and I'm not finna do it. And he's like, look, I promise you I am innocent in this situation, and I just know that I'm going to be able to prove to you that I didn't do this. And when I get out, I very much still need you, and I want to be with you. Like, I just need you to be with me right now. And so she's over it, and she's just like, look, I wish you the best, and I'll talk to you later because I don't have time for this bullshit right now. And then her confessional, she said that, you know, she don't know why she is so addicted to these damn bad boys. And at this point, it just has her mad at herself because she knows that she deserves better. And yes, Angela girl, you do deserve better. You know what I'm saying? You out here giving it to the men. You out here with this body yaddy. I don't know about you and these cigarettes because, you know, I go off on you every week about these damn cigarettes. But, you know, yes, I feel like you got it going on for yourself. You got your own car. You got your own place. You got a good job. You deserve a good man. You a good lady. So stay out the prison system, Angela. Like, it's not for you. It's not a good look for you. Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany is still at her mama house going the fuck off on her mama for sitting up here being high for leaving her grandkids to go and get high. And while Brittany snapping, the baby sister also jumped in to put her 2 cents in. And she said, how dare you take from me? I saw my bank slips and it says that you went to the Speed Mart and you withdrew $125 out of my account. What was that for? For you to go get pills? And the mama was like, hell, maybe it was. I don't know. And so, you know, Brittany is like, that's that shit that I'm talking about. Like, you don't even care. You don't care what you're doing to me. You don't care what you're doing to my little sister. And you don't give a shit about your grandkids either. All you care about is getting high. The mama says that yes, she went out and she bought pills, but it was because she was just in so much pain. So I don't know if this pain is from an injury that she had, or if it's a situation where she was on these pills and now she's fiending for them so bad that it causes her pain and it makes her want more or need more of the pills. So I don't know, but I do believe the mom when she says that you know, because I don't think in that situation where she was babysitting her grandkids that if she could have really fought that craving, that she would have left those kids. And I mean, we all know, anybody that has any type of addiction, y'all know I talk about it all the time, that I am a foodie. I am a food addict. So even though I'm on a weight loss journey, like, it's still a struggle each and every day to make healthy food choices. And so, you know, even though food addiction is not as severe as a drug addiction, it's addiction all the same. So I definitely empathize and sympathize with Brittany's mom. But at this point, Brittany is like, look, I have been an addict. I've been there and I've done that. She said that she was on meth for years. She was on it just as bad as anybody else. And she knows what her mom is going through. But at some point, you got to get your shit together. Brittany says that she was at a point where everybody left her alone to fend for herself. She hit rock bottom, and that is what put her to the place where she is today. She said she needed that to get her life right. And so she feels like her mother needs to follow suit. They are going to leave her with absolutely nothing. The mother says, well, fuck y'all then. If you leave me with $1,000, then you can go on about your business. They ain't leaving her with shit. They're leaving her with the clothes on her back, and that's it. So Brittany's sister packs up some of her stuff and they leave. And that was that. They get back to Brittany's house and they're standing in the kitchen, and Brittany just wants to make sure that the little sister is okay and that they're on the same page as far as leaving their mom to fend for herself. Because Brittany knows that the little sister has a really, really big soft spot for their mom. She doesn't like to see her mom struggling or hurting or in need for anything. So even though she's battling this addiction, it's like she would rather support the addiction and know that her mom is okay than to have to worry, if that makes sense. And so the little sister is like, yes, you know, we're definitely on the same page. But my only concern at this moment is the fact that I don't want to break my lease because I don't want that on my credit. And what am I going to do with all my furniture? Because the best way for me to leave mom alone is to leave Nevada and go to Alaska, go back to Alaska. And so Brittany is just telling her, like, look, it's just going to be one of those hard decisions that you're going to have to make in order for mom to really get it. She was like, you can always get more furniture and, you know, we'll figure something out with your lease situation. But I think I completely agree with you, and Alaska is the best thing for you to do. Just get up and go. And it goes to Brittany's confessional. And in the confessional, Brittany is just really expressing to us how she feels about her mom and how she is yearning and wants to know if she will ever have that loving, caring mother that she's always wanted to have. And she just really breaks down and start bawling, crying, and it got me. If anybody knows me, y'all know I am the most sensitive person ever. Like, I cry on commercials. If they're heartfelt enough, I will cry on a commercial. So when Brittany was just pouring her heart out about her mom in that confessional, y'all, it took me out. And so the last part for Brittany and Marcelino, it shows the couple sitting in their newly finished backyard. And I'm so glad that the backyard got done in time enough for us to see it, because y'all, it actually came out really, really nice. You know, backyards are kind of different there compared to like where I'm at down here down south in the country, but it's a nice backyard nevertheless. So they had a little play stuff out there for the kids. They had a nice little sitting area over there with the giant umbrella for Brittany and Marcelino. And Brittany just cannot help but think, like, I really wish that my mom was in a good place so that she could share this moment with us. And Marcelino is telling her that he definitely understands where she's coming from, because he had to go through the same thing with his mother. And so we are definitely rooting for Brittany and the little sister and their mom. And hopefully, you know, their mom will get it together. But, you know, that was it pretty much for Brittany and Marcelino. And last but not least, y'all know I had to save crazy ass Michael and Sarah for the last. So the first thing we get is Sarah in this damn parking lot yelling, talking to Michael, talking about, you ain't coming at him like that, Mike. You ain't coming at him like that. And I'm like, here we go with this bullshit. So y'all know that Sarah wanted to bring Malcolm outside so that, you know, they could meet man to man before Michael goes in the party. But Michael ain't trying to hear none of that shit. He like, look, I'm here for my girls. I'm not here to meet this man. I'm just finna go in and do what I gotta do. So Mike goes in the party, and first thing he sees is his oldest daughter, little baby Aviana. So Aviana jumps up in his arms, and she's just so excited to see her dad. And so he's chilling with Aviana for a minute, and then some little girl was holding baby Rain. And so he asked the little girl, he was like, let me hold her for a minute, I'll give her right back. And so the little girl was like, okay. So then he's holding little baby Rain, and at first she's a little whiny, but then she gets okay. She's like, you know, okay, whoever this man is. And so then it shows Sarah and Malcolm talking, and Malcolm is like, you know, is everything okay? And she's like, you know, yeah. And she's just like, I'm just living for moments like this, because the kids really do love their dad. And so I'm just happy to be witnessing what I'm witnessing right now. And no sooner than she could say that, baby Rain is having a fit. She's over it. So I don't know if Michael breath smell like cigarettes, or, you know, if she just wants to be with children a little closer to her age. I don't know what's going on with baby Rain, but she was ready to get out of Michael's arms. So she's throwing a fit at this point, and the little girl that was originally holding her came back and got her. And then she hushed. Baby Rain hushed as soon as she got back with the little girl. So I don't know what was going on with that. But so when that happened, Michael decided that he would go ahead and step out. Now, this is when Sarah's best friend, I think the girl name is Emmy or Emma or something like that. But anyway, y'all know Sarah BFF. She was just too happy to let us know that all Michael did was come in, kiss his girls. He stayed for about 20 minutes, and now he's right back out the door. And then she broke her neck to get over there to Sarah to let Sarah know, oh, Michael left. And so Sarah like, well, where is he going? And she's like, well, I don't know. So then Sarah goes outside, and she's like, yo, Mike, what's up? And Michael says that he is leaving because of the simple fact that Sarah has allowed the party to be about this new ninja that you got versus it being about the baby. And at that point, I completely agreed with Michael. And I'm saying that because I told y'all that it was shady from the beginning. It was shady from the way that she invited Malcolm, how she worded it, from the way that she communicated with Michael and was asking him about all when he was coming and this and that and the third. So I definitely feel like Sarah went about both of their invitations the wrong way. So I was on Michael's side at that point. She's trying to figure out how the hell he figured that she's making this party all about Malcolm when you've only seen your daughter 4 times in a whole year. But Michael says none of that even matters. All of that is irrelevant. And I said what I said. Sarah is trying to explain to Michael that she thought that he was coming a few days prior to, so that this meet would not be so awkward, and that they could have met a couple of days ago to get this out the way. And at that point, Michael calls her a liar. And he was like, he didn't want to hear none of that shit. And that is when I jumped on Sarah's side. Because I do believe that Sarah was going to introduce them a couple of days before. And y'all remember, she had kept trying to call Michael, and Michael was ignoring her phone calls. So, you know, Mike, if you wouldn't have been ignoring her all that time, you know, you might could have had your feelings out the way. You might would have had your feelings out the way, because at this point, Michael has allowed his jealousy to take over and take away from him being at the party for his child. And y'all, it completely pissed me off, because I'm just like, how can you take your time to drive all the way to New York to visit your child, and you let the fact that your baby mama have moved on make you only stay there for 20 minutes? You let your jealousy, you let your curiosity, you let your anger. And I understand that it probably felt like you were in a room full of wolves. You already knew you were stepping into a situation where you got animosity with your baby mama. None of this girl's family care for you. None of this girl's friends care for you. And then on top of that, you in the room with this new stranger that she dealing with. And you don't know what kind of attitude this man got set up. You don't know if he's smooth and easygoing. I mean, we know that. We know that Malcolm ain't gonna kill none or let none die. We know that. But Michael didn't know that. So Michael don't know if, you know what I'm saying, if this is a shady character or if he's a cool guy. And he ain't trying to. But what he do know is the vibe that's in the room, he ain't feeling it. So, you know, after Michael rides off, he decides that he needs to call his dad. He calls his dad to tell him the situation and how, you know, things completely went left at the party. But he had already told Aviana that he wants to spend time with them the next day. And so the dad is like, well, do you think that that's a good idea? And he was like, oh no, he told the dad that he was going to just pop up and get them the next day. And so the dad is like, okay, well, if all of that done transpired, do you think it's a good idea to just pop up on this lady and demand her to hand you your kids? And he was like, no, I don't think it is, but I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm their dad. Like, I deserve to be able to see my kids. And so the dad is just trying to talk as much sense into Michael as possible, and he lets him know that he is proud of Michael for not popping off worse than he did at the party, because the old Michael would have just set it off and been done with it. And so they hang up the phone, and it goes to showing what the hell Sarah and Malcolm had going on once they got home from the party. So, you know, Malcolm is like, so how do you feel about the party? Like, how do you think it went? And Sarah was like, I feel like the party was good and bad. You know, it was what it was. And so Malcolm is like, okay, Well, you know, my whole thing is I just want to know, like, is it still something there between you and Michael? Because from what I witnessed out there in the parking lot, it looks like it's not over between you two. And I was glad that Malcolm expressed that. I know a lot of people will probably view that as, oh my God, he's being insecure and this ain't gonna last and this, that, and the third. But when you have feelings like that, you can't let them fester, because they're gonna develop into something way beyond just that little small thing. So I'm glad that Malcolm said what was on his mind and he nipped it in the bud right then and there. He said, I feel like it's something there. And so I just want to hear you say that it's over between you and Michael and that you love me. And so Sarah took a deep breath and she looked him dead in his eyes, and she was slightly aggravated, but she was very empathetic and sympathetic towards his feelings as well. You could see it. You couldn't really hear it in her voice, but you could see it. And she told him, it is over between me and Michael, and I love you. And I am falling in love with you more and more every day. Malcolm exhaled, and that was all he needed to hear. He did not harp on it anymore. So no quicker than they could get past that beautiful adult moment, Michael calls. And here comes Michael with the bullshit. So Michael is telling Sarah that, you know, look, I don't know what transpired today at the party, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't comfortable. And so Sarah's like, well, you know, Malcolm is still here right now. And he said, well, I don't give a fuck. You know, you could be chilling there with Jesus, Mary, and the disciples. Like, I'm just calling to let you know that I want to see my children before I go back home. So I'm going to come over and spend time with them. And she's like, no, you're not. And he said, yes, I am. And you're going to let me in. And so some kind of way they end up hanging up the phone. And Michael is like, all right, period. Like, this means war. So y'all, I don't know what the hell that means, but they beefing. They got beef. And that was the conclusion of my Love After Lockup, y'all. Now, they did show the little ending credits, because like I said, this was the finale for the season 2 cast, and we will be back to our original season 3 cast next week. So I am definitely excited to see what is going on with honey Tyrese and Shonda, and Scott and Lindsay and all of their crazy asses. And so I think that's it, y'all. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Of course, I want to thank you so much for watching this review. I tried to get it out a little bit earlier this time. You know, y'all, I promise y'all, I am not taking no more weekend shows after this season goes off. So because I already know the weekends do not work out for me. I'm gonna have to review a show that comes on during the week so that I can get it out on time. But anyway, if you took your time to watch this video, I thank you so much. This is your girl P Hope, and you already know I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video.